Welcome back. The fate of Ithala Bank hangs in the balance as the court prepares to hear an application this morning. This comes after the Reserve Bank applied for the bank's provisional liquidation last week. The KZN Treasury is vehemently opposing this move, citing the devastating impact it would have on the province's citizens as well as its economy. So what are the implications of liquidation, the province's efforts to save Ithala, and what is the way forward? That's the conversation that we're having with Francois Rodgers, who is the Finance MEC in KwaZulu-Natal. MEC, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. Just to start off the conversation, just a quick explanation around the difference of the application that is before the court this morning that has been brought by Ithala itself, and also then the application that has been brought by the Credential Authority, just the difference between the two.
Good morning, Eldrin, and good morning to your viewers. So you have the Credential Authority, which is controlled by the Reserve Bank, and its sole mandate is to look at the operations of the banking industry. Now, the Credential Authority is looking for liquidation. That matter will be heard on Thursday in the High Court. Then you have the Repayment Authority, which is a body appointed by the Credential Authority, and their sole mandate is to look at ensuring that depositors' finances are secure and everything is in order. That matter was to be heard today, and that was an application brought about by the province and Ithala against the methodology used by the Repayment Authority. But yesterday we were informed by the Judge President of the province that the matter has been withdrawn because the judge that was supposed to hear it is on leave. And she will, in her chambers tomorrow, listen to the various arguments from the legal team, and then determine what date and in what court the matter of Ithala and the province against the Repayment Authority will be heard. So that's, I hope that helps you understand the difference.
Okay. So the matter relating to the Repayment Authority, that is only going to now be heard at a date yet to be determined.
Correct. After the judge, as I say, yesterday indicated that the presiding judge was on leave and the matter couldn't be heard. It was due to be heard today.
Okay. What does this then mean for the application that has been brought by the Credential Authority now in relation to the liquidation of the bank, considering that they place heavy reliance as well on the Repayment Authority's findings?
Aldrin, I must first just say that, you know, we're disappointed that the matter is against the RA is not being heard today. At the moment, the entire operation of Ithala has come to a grinding halt. People who receive salaries through Ithala accounts cannot access their salaries, and bond and medical aid repayments go through those accounts, debit orders, those are being rejected. Salaries for Ithala staff were stopped by the Repayment Authority, and obviously that compounds the problem that we have. And this is why we went and sought an urgent interdict against the behavior, the irregular behavior, what we believe, of the RA, because it's really just compounding the problem. Now, on Thursday, we'll hear the Credential Authority, their liquidation application, and obviously between Ithala, the Treasury Department and the Department of Economic Development, and I think the Office of the Premier, we will put evidence before the court that we don't believe that Ithala is insolvent and that there is liquidity in order for Ithala to continue. But the behavior of the Repayment Authority since the beginning of last year has compounded the challenges that we face.
Yeah. Okay. So on the basis of the argument that, as far as you're concerned, you believe that Ithala is still solvent, would Ithala still be solvent if it was to adhere to the order that came from the Credential Authority to repay around 2.4 billion rand in deposits to your customers? Will it still be solvent?
Look, I'm certainly no banking expert, but I don't believe that there's a bank in this country that has liquidity, any commercial bank that is, that has the liquidity to pay every single depositor within a limited time frame. Because a lot of the money is tied up in debt, in book loans, and that's all commercial banks are the same. What we have done as the province, which is really, no other commercial bank has done this. We've gone to the Credential Authority as the province, and we've said we will, and we're negotiating with National Treasury, and we have secured in principle a 2.1 billion rand guarantee, which we will then be able to cede to Ithala to be able to secure every single cent and every single rand of depositors' money. But clearly, we're not going to put that money forward while the RA seems to want to capture the bank. That is our biggest concern. What is the motive behind Johan Kruger, who is the repayment authority in Ithala Bank? He's already originally what he wanted. He wanted Ithala to pay all the depositors' money into his business trust account, which is absurd. And this is one of the challenges that we're having in court. So to simply answer your question, the province is prepared to put its money where its mouth is and secure every single cent of depositors' money.
Sure, but the province is not going to put in that 2.4 billion rand, am I right? And does the province accept the finding of the Credential Authority that the deposits of 2.4 billion rand was unlawful, and that's the reason why the money needs to be paid back? And the reason that I ask this, Rodgers, and you make the comparison with the commercial banks, is that there's no finding of unlawfully accepting deposits, and this is the issue that is being raised here by the Credential Authority.
You are quite right. There is another factor to this, and it's a long coming factor, and it's a complex factor that we've inherited as the seventh administration, and that is the licensing of Ithala. Now, it's our understanding that, and again we have the evidence of this, that Ithala did miss the deadline, but was able to submit all the information to the Credential Authority for the request to create a commercial bank. What we also did when we realized this problem was catching up with us, we then approached commercial banks to operate with Ithala to piggy bank so that we could move our depositors' book to a commercial bank to secure it. That process was going along perfectly. There were two commercial banks lined up. And when the RA got involved, suddenly the waters were muddied, and both of those commercial banks that we were talking to turned around and walked away from the discussions.
Okay.
So we were trying to find solutions to the problem last year already.
Okay, Francois, just quickly in conclusion, you accused Mr. Kruger earlier on of wanting to capture the bank. Why do you make such an argument? What do you base this on? On whose behalf would you be capturing the bank?
Well, firstly, Mr. Kruger is the Repayment Authority, and he has a legal entity, a legal business. Now, according to the papers that we are going to be submitting, he had requested that depositors' funds be transferred into his business account to be secured in his business account. Now that needs to come out in the court case against the RA. The other challenges we've had, and now it's come out, the allegations that a commercial bank has now been phoning depositors with Ithala and promoting their bank in light of the crisis going down at Ithala. Now, if those allegations are founded, where did this commercial bank get that information from? Because that information was given to the RA and nobody else.
Are you at liberty to mention which commercial bank that is?
I wouldn't until I have confirmation of the allegations.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. Francois Rodgers is the MEC for Finance in KwaZulu-Natal on their attempts, at least, to try and save Ithala Bank. But the difficulty that they face here is their order by the Credential Authority that they need to repay 2.4 billion rand in deposits that they took unlawfully from their clients. So